everyone. Yes, I know. I know. I had tried to put a video up, my last one, for several days. Well, actually, probably just 2. I know I mentioned it in one other video when another video, it said YouTube error or something about YouTube. And I assumed it was because of what I was talking about, the specific words that I was using and titles. I deleted the title, reworded it, and it still kept coming back error. So in this video, I have to be very descriptive of what I say. Descriptive, is that the word I'm looking for? Use different wording or abbreviations. There, I said it. So I have kind of been in panic mode. A couple of days ago, I had done maybe I could say this, I'm just gonna say it, a blood withdrawal to test specific things. That was for the memory clinic, and one came back low, which is a concern. And it's tied in with the memory problem that starts with a D. The other one starts with an A, so maybe you'll catch on to that. Mine is tied into the one that starts with a D, but it's not a clinical title. I'm sorry. It's what the doctor says that you have. I hope that goes through. It's not that. I have to remember to do it. That came through, those results came through, what's today? Yesterday, July 4th. And so I went in panic mode. And actually, I think the day before, I was just really stressed about it, really stressed about it. My anxiety kicked back in. Not as bad as it was before, but bad. I woke up several times that night in anxiety mode, and that word might knock me out. Hopefully not. Maybe I should have said anxious. I don't know. Darn YouTube. But anyway, so I kept waking up all night because of that, and distressed. I went to work stressed. I had to go through my head and say, do not worry about that. Even if it was the D word, there's nothing I can do about it. The thing that I was low on in my blood draw, she gave me a tablet, an oral tablet. She said, go on Amazon, they have it. And it's Flonate is what I was lacking in, was low, I should say. So she told me to get those tablets off of Amazon. And they have great reviews. And I'm like, why don't people take this every day, all day, healthy or not? Wow. So I'm supposed to get those tomorrow, I think is tomorrow. But anyway, I called the memory clinic today, and I told them that my job is at risk because my memory is that bad. And once again, I will say on here, because I don't even know if those videos went up that I said this in, it's not my job's fault. If I was the job, I would, of course, first try to help them. And then if nothing worked and they didn't help my business, then I would have to gently let them go. And I would be sad. I would cry if that happened to me. But I understand. You have to have willing and able people to be able to help run your business. So I called the memory clinic and I said, my job, I'm struggling at my job. It's really bad. I need help as soon as possible. At first she was saying the person that does the appointments wasn't there. And she usually is not there Friday. But when I said, I'm struggling really bad, she's like, I think I seen her here today. Let me see if she's available. And she was, thank goodness. She emailed me paperwork in which I need to fill out. And when I send them back, she will review them and call me with an appointment that will be 6 to 8 weeks out. and that appointment will be an hour and a half long, if not longer. I see a technician and then the doctor. And then within 24 hours, they send that report to my PCP. They read it and tell me what's going on. I am almost 100% sure, probably safe to say 90% sure that that is what I have. It scares me, but at this moment in time, as with a lot of people, once I calmed down and chilled out, it was, I need to start living my life. I need to start doing things instead of just talking about them. Although I've tried, but I mean, there's only so much you could do when you try. But I'm going to get at everything I've got. I need to say this quickly. Well, it doesn't even have to be quickly. I don't even know why I said quickly. That first night when I kept waking up, going to sleep with anxiety over this situation, I fell asleep. Oh, I think this was the first night. And this incident was in the video that wouldn't upload. I had the rhythmic bumping of my bed, and I woke up. I was angry. With all this still going through my head and having anxiety, I was angry. And I think I can't remember if I said it in my head or if it was in a whisper, but I said, "Can you please stop thumping on my bed?" And this is what it was like. The thumping was like this. I mean, not that hard, enough to wake you up. And it was rhythmic. And when I said that, this is what happened. You could feel it like they were mad. It was just like, and I remember thinking, well, that's new. I didn't care. I went back to sleep, woke up to the pounding again. And I said, "Can you please stop effing pounding on my bed?" And I said the word that goes with effing. And it didn't stop that time. It really didn't stop. And I got irritated. I flung over on my side. I was in a cold sweat. And I just forced myself to go back to sleep and just deal with it. But 2 nights ago, the night after that, I think, my days are bleeding. I'm sorry. I had all this in my mind. And I wasn't asleep long, or it didn't feel like it. And it always seems that I get a visit. When I get a visit, I feel like I'm not even asleep that long. Is it like they're waiting for me to close my eyes? And I don't know. But I woke up and my room was filled with geometric shapes. It's so hard to describe what these things are. And I say that every time I say that. And I saw entities all in my room, everywhere. And there was one in front of me. Oh, and I felt them walking through the bed. And it wasn't thumping. It was like somebody's knees were just like shoving their way through, kind of, you know? And I look up. I think I was on my back. I'm pretty sure I was. And there's this entity with a huge head. And it was filled out. And sometimes I don't see their complete form, their outline. And you can tell that specific outlines is a head. And the moving small objects are usually the fingers. Well, I saw the head. It was huge. And it was looking at me, no doubt. And it looked like it was doing something. Like it was working on a computer. I'm not sure. And I extended my hand. And it reached out and kind of did this on my hand. I felt it. It was like energy fingers. It's the best way I can explain it. And I just put my hand down and I went back to sleep. But here's what happened next. I was walking somewhere and I was talking to someone or something. And I'm looking side to side kind of, and I realize I look like I'm in a desert somewhere. And I'm looking, and there's buildings, I think on the left only. And as I'm walking, I see these big blonde, long-bladed grass type bushes, things that were taller than me. And they were just spilling out, kind of like an umbrella, but with long blades of brown, blonde blades of grass is what it looked like. Leaves, blades of leaves. And then I'm commenting at how big they are, and they're pretty. And in between them, they were like bunched together. In between them were very long green stems with purple flowers on top. And the purple flowers were like a bud here, a bud there, a bud here, a bud there. And it just climbed to the tip of the stem. And I remember grabbing one thinking, I wonder what these are. Talking to somebody. I didn't see them. I don't recall hearing them. And I remember kind of looking around thinking, what time is it? It's dim. It was a different kind of dim. It was like the sun was still up, but it just wasn't up. And the sky was a brownish green. And as I'm realizing that things are looking different, I look straight ahead and I see mountains I've never seen before. They were a bluish, grayish, maybe with white edges, I don't know, but they were layered. It was like you're looking straight ahead and there's one this height and there's one this height and over here, and they were just like layered, one behind the other. And I grabbed my phone and I realized that there was something wrong with my phone. And I aimed it toward a mountain because I was going to take a picture of it. And when I aimed at the mountain, it automatically zoomed in so quick, so drastic, that all I would get is a tiny little square of the huge mountain. And when I looked at the mountains, I had this great fear within me. Enormous, huge. And I tried to take a picture of the mountains more than once and couldn't, no matter what I did. And it was like my phone was flashing. And it actually wasn't my phone. I don't know what it was. And it could have been. I'm not 100% sure. I then realized in my head, my earth self head, I was communicating with my mom, in which I wouldn't do, not at this time in my life. I remember looking around, all around, from side to side to front. I don't recall the back. And at a specific point of me looking, I realized that there was these mountains all the way around, I'm assuming this town I was in. And the circle of these mountains were very narrow. So let's just say that in your city, there's mountains surrounding your city, and that is it. That's all that there is, unless there's other cities on the other sides of these mountains. I start saying, Mom, I remember where our hotel is, but I can't find you. And I'm walking into these parking lots, looking around thinking, and I won't even say I went into a room, but I'm not 100% sure. But I remember looking around thinking, there's no cars. I didn't see any other entities walking around. The buildings had very dim light, not bright at all. And I remember I kept saying, and I think I was on my phone, I don't know. And I kept saying, where are you? But I was calm. But then again, I was afraid. Those mountains, I don't know what was with those mountains, but they scared me. And I don't recall ever being that scared. Ever, I don't think. But when I woke up, I sat up. Well, and I'm thinking about all of this because when I woke up, it was still fresh in my head. And I even wrote it in my journal because I didn't want to forget. That wasn't a dream. I went somewhere voluntarily, or an entity took me. And something tells me that entity that was in my room took me there. I don't think that they meant to scare me in any way. I think me realizing that I was not on Earth scared me. It was like a form of detachment with no way of coming back feeling. That's the best way I can describe it. And when I woke up, that was in my mind, and I I kind of laid there for a little bit. Then I sat up thinking about what I was just telling you in the beginning of this video, my results and stuff. Since my awakening in 2020, it soon came to me that I will cross over at 66. And it's like deep within my soul, without a doubt, I know without question that I will cross over at 66. I had a medium tell me that she felt that it would be a choice that would be made. And I assumed, well, I can't tell you what I assumed, but I know. And anyway, when I sat up in bed the other night, I thought to myself, knowing those results I was just telling you, and this is when I will cross at 66. Ironically, in reading about this not diagnosis, is usually when you are diagnosed, you have between 10 and 11 years from that point forward, unless you're older in age. Of course, your years get smaller. And then it hit me. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, that makes sense. And not too long ago, I had a MRI on my brain. I don't remember what for, which is a part of what I'm going through. But I do remember I was told that there was a spot in the middle of my brain that could be normal because of my age. And then today, after talking to the memory clinic, she had said, oh, we got your brain scan too. And I didn't realize that that was going to be sent over. And when she said that, it hit me. That kind of goes hand in hand with everything else that I've told you. That this whole video has scared me, but I'm not so scared anymore, and that's crazy. I've asked my guides daily to help me get through this, and I think maybe my higher self has come about and said, okay, now it's time to live. Don't fret over things. Don't get mad over things. Just let it all go. And that's my plan. Me and my ex went for a ride yesterday. My kid's dad. We're still friends. And he has such road rage. And I said to him, why? Why would you get mad because somebody drives slow? Why does it, I don't understand why you get so mad. What's the reason? And he voiced his reason. I'm not going to say here. But I'm like, still, gosh, you're building up all of this anger and just feeling those emotions, which is not good. And you're letting what other people do take control of your emotions like that. Stop. He's very headstrong. He's not going to stop. But that's his path, not mine. I can throw something out to somebody and suggest something, but it's up to them if they want to do it or not. I wanted to get on here before I forgot a lot of things that I wanted to share with you, and here it is. So I'm going to end this here. It is a 20-minute video already, and these are very long to edit them in this length. So I hope you guys are well, and now going through what I'm going through, I can actually really say this. Live your life to the fullest and don't get mad over the silly things. Just be happy. Find happiness in everything that you do, even if it makes you miserable or sad. So I'm going to end this here. I love you guys so, so much, and I'm going to send every one of you love, light, and peace. Bye.